We are here for day 8. Am I late? This is the first time I've ever seen people waiting for me to go live. Am I late? What time is it? I can't tell because my phone's doing this right now. Welcome, happy Sunday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are, or evening. Morning for me, 9 a.m. We're loving this time slot, by the way. Okay, so I think that my house coat potentially was too powerful. It was too powerful yesterday because I didn't end up working. I stayed in that thing all day. I stayed in that house coat absolutely all day and ended up spinning. I spun the whole day and it was fantastic. Good morning. Hi, Tracy. Oh, and hi, Robin. I saw you in here too. I spun the whole day. Woo! And here's where I got to for you guys to see. There's my, so these aren't like, I haven't finished them yet. They haven't soaked or whatever. So what I'm doing is just spinning them up, center ply ball. I'm not one of those to rest my singles. To each his own. I know that there's technical reasons because I have very technical spinning friends who must rest their singles and they've got probably extremely good like data or whatever for why. I don't do that. So I've been just spinning them up and doing center pull balls, and I just have been going like this. I've been nitty-knottying them because they're small. I have the 1.5 meter Ashford nitty-knotty, and then I just kind of count and I estimate. Although anything I'm going to knit with these, I'm not isn't going to be super contingent on like my meterage and yardage anyway, because I'm looking for patterns. So yesterday we were talking about patterns on here. For my delightful, okay, so for True North, I am going to have 13 minis, right? My little bouquet. My little True North bouquet. I'm going to have 13 minis for True North. And I'm still looking for ideas of what I'm going to do with those. Because I want to I want to spin all of those individually and ply them all individually. And then I want to knit them in a way that really mixes up the colors and integrates them. So I was thinking about kind of like mosaic knitting, in the way that we slip those stitches up and carry other colors, or I was thinking about like sort of like a houndstooth or a dog's tooth kind of pattern, not chevron, but like where we're kind of intermixing on those rows. Then I thought about like brioche, 2-color brioche would be really fun, and do something super squishy. Good morning. Hello, Danielle. Happy Sunday to you too. I was thinking about brioche. I was thinking about just anything where I'm mixing up the True North colors in the knit. For delightful though, here's where I got to last night. The Inclinations shawl. The Kintra by sounds okay. Will you put that in the comments, Kaylee? Like when the video's done, just put that in the comments. Hey, that's actually not a bad idea. If you have ideas for what you guys are thinking about for knitting, or if you have an idea for what I'm describing, pop it in the comments when this video is done. I mean, it's gonna live here in the live comments, but just for like a quick little reference. Okay, so I was thinking for delightful, I'm doing the 50-gram skeins. So I'm gonna have 6 50-gram skeins at the end of delightful, where I've plied my 2 bonds together and my 2 Canadian fine wools together, and you know, that kind of thing going across. So the Gambit cowl. Oh, I did see that, Danielle. The Samantha Guerin's Gambit. I saw that. And Danielle, didn't you send me the crochet one? That. But I want to knit it. I do crochet and I love crochet. But it is quite fine. I'm spinning fine, so it wouldn't make it like bulky. Okay. I was looking at Andrea Mowry's Inclinations shawl last night. I've never knit the cowl or the shawl or anything like that, but it uses 6 colors, a skein of each in worsted weight. Well, I'm probably spinning like a sport weight. And I was just thinking, like, what if I just didn't change the needle size? I just made it, it's fisherman's rib, right? What if I just didn't change the needle size and made it really gappy and kind of just did that? Because you just knit till your yarn is gone. And I want to use absolutely every little bit of the yarn. So you start skinny and then you're increasing up the one edge, right? And then it creates that kind of bias looking shawl, but you just go till your yarn is done. alternating these different colors. So I'm kind of looking at that. That's what I was doing way too late last night when I should have been sleeping. I was going on Ravelry, just going through and looking to see, because I definitely wanted to use every bit of the yarn. I'm even doing center pull balls for my delightful spin. Yep. Sorry, Danielle's commenting about about a pattern that she sent me on Instagram, and it was really pretty. Put that one in the comments too, Danielle. Okay, so even in order to use every little bit of the wool when I'm doing the delightful spin, I spin day 1, and then I attach day 2, and I spin day 2, and I center pull, and then ply them, you know, from the either end. I understand that those aren't going to be perfect yardages, and there's probably going to be a section where one of those is plied on itself, but because the colors are so close, I'm not worried about that. And I just want to use every little bit and not have that weird bit that you have left on the bobbin, and like, what do you do with that, where it's just like, you know, just that little bit of a thickness left on the bobbin. So I'm just gonna, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I love the center pull ball method. Me too. Okay, here's the thing. I believe that there are really good, I've seen people explain like why you wouldn't do that or something like that. And I can see from, okay, so if you're a super technical person, you're going to notice those super technical differences in the finished yarn. Okay, let's just say. But if you handed me a skein of yarn, and I'm a woolen spinner, right? We all know this. I'm a one-trick pony. I'm a long draw. I long draw everything, every breed, comb top, doesn't matter. I long draw. If you hand me a skein of yarn that is from a center pull ball or traditionally 2-plied, because there's some sort of thing that happens with the twist angle a bit or whatever else, I'm not going to see that. I'm not, because I'm not that kind of person. So I love this for my technical friends who are like, oh, but wait, it makes this difference because the way that it's blah, blah, blah is doing this and this and this. And I'm like, okay. I don't want to say I don't care because it sounds dismissive to those who like really love and get invested in these super technical aspects. I have very good friends who can give you exacting details and reasons of how things change. I just feel like I just don't notice. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing. These are like, to me, these are micro differences. And that would, by trying to exact them, like to get this microness, betterness of the yarn, I would actually hurt my crafting experience. I would come to resent aspects of it, because if I just feel like plying right now, I'm just gonna ply right now, right? Like that's how I roll. So there might be others out there like me, and to you, hooray! And there might be others out there that are like, you know, do not do that, must rest, otherwise it will do this. And I'm gonna be like, okay, have fun with that too, right? Like we all approach the craft in our ways. My ways are a little bit lazy, but I really love my finished yarns. I don't have any problems I'm trying to solve. Maybe that's my thing. So I just do everything the same way because it makes me happy. Anyway, so that's all coming from what I'm doing with Delightful. I spin day 1, I attach day 2, I spin day 2, I center pull ball, so day 1 on the outside, day 2 on the inside, or whatever, inside, outside, whatever, and start to ply like that. And where there may be a couple yards of a single day overlap, single day ply, I just don't think it's gonna matter when I finish my knit. We are 9 minutes in, and I haven't actually talked about opening up this advent yet. So let's do that, okay? Melly from MellyKnits, and together with my hubby who helps me, the girl down the street, Emily, who helps me. Question for you, Melly. Hold on. Do you spin Z or S? I spin clockwise. My wheel goes clockwise when I spin. Counterclockwise when I ply. You tell me what that is. Not a spinning teacher. Okay? I like the before part, and then I just do whatever. I enjoy getting technical about knitting. So for my spinning, it's all about the ease and the fun of the experience over the precision and the techniques. There you go. Okay, maybe this wasn't a funny little tangent I had this morning. Maybe this is a good live discussion. Here I am trying to actually, hi Erica, start my live. Hi, I'm Melly from MellyKnits, and I make wool for spinners. Boom. I don't make the wool. I clean the wool and I brush the wool. There it is. There, I'm just going to leave that as the intro. Welcome to day 8 of delightful lore. Advent lore. Advent lore, because I made 2 Advents this year, True North and Delightful. And today is an even number, day 8, which means we're starting with delightful. You guys ready to jump in? What are we thinking? There's a really beautiful gray squirrel outside my window. There's this huge tree right outside the wool room window here. And he's the cutest. And I've been watching him. We shall call him Lyle. There it is. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Delightful. We're going to start with delightful. I'm going to get on track now. Starting now, I'm on track. I'm on track. All right. Good discussion though. I do like talking about the technical versus untechnical spinners. Yeah, it's always a good combo. Okay. These are smelling better and better as we go because day 9 is coming, which is the smelly day for delightful. All right, day 8, delightful, our beautiful little flower. So yesterday, delightful, we opened up a new fine wool breed, and it was Haunui. And I showed it lots and lots. It was this ebony colored Haunui, and then Danielle. Sorry, Danielle's being funny in the comments. Okay, it was ebony colored Haunui, and then I blended in, it was a fine too, an extra fine Haunui. It was a Hogget fleece, and then I blended in some of like a more medium micron Haunui. Not medium, it said on the card. I don't have it here. Do I have it here? I should grab it anyway because I want to compare it for you guys with, what the heck? Oh, never mind, it's right here. I put it over here. I also looked for that sheep forever last night, that sheep art, and I couldn't find it. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so the extra fine ebony was 18 to 19 microns, and then the medium gray that I put in was 22 to 23 microns. I still don't call that medium. Medium gray, not medium fiber. It's still fine fiber. So blended that together, we got this fun darkness, no parents, super pretty. We love. And then today's the day that we blend it. Here we go. Here's what we stuck with the ebony Haunui. I called this day the void. And I was saying that in the live yesterday. So I was thinking calling it the void. And then in my head, as I was saying that out loud in the live, I'm like, shoot, I called the next day the void. Doesn't matter, no one cares. Okay, here we go. Ready? Here's what, maybe the shiny paper is not gonna help us. Here's what it got blended with and how it looks. Again, similar, and what the camera may not be showing you is the intense shine on this babe. All right, I ended up going with, surprising myself actually, and going with peduncle silk. So at first I didn't want to do peduncle silk because Haunui themselves offer these 30% silk infusions where they're using, what are they using? Are they using Tussa? They've got something. They say they're silk type. They do a silk infusion, so I didn't want to offer that because I was like, well, people can get that commercially available from Haunui. They send it off to the mill and get silks put in. But here's the deal. Here's the deal with my beautiful peduncle, okay? First of all, it's my favorite silk. Secondly, it suits the color profile. It suited this fleece so well. Look at this shine. It has like a wet look almost to it. Like it's so shiny and so beautiful because, oh, my camera is just suffering trying to capture black shine right now. It's also my favorite because it's the easiest to spin of the silks. So peduncle has the most tooth of all silk. I always find it so silly when people talk about it being like the toothiest silk, the roughest silk or whatever. Peduncle, for anyone who doesn't know, looks like this. That's the natural color of peduncle silk, okay? That's what it looks like, pewter. It looks like pewter. And peduncle silk, it's called so because there's actually a part of the cocoon makeup called the peduncle. And it is this little ring that the worm makes when it's attaching its cocoon to the tree or to the branch or to the plant or whatever it is that it's attaching it to. So This isn't actually from the cocoon. This is from the portion of attachment between the cocoon and whatever they're doing. It's a strong little, that's why it's the strongest of the silks. It's awesome, awesome, awesome to spin. You could even just spin this alone if you wanted to make like a pure silk yarn. Like this would be doable for most spinners, whereas usually spinning silk would be like a monstrous challenge. This one's great. So I love peduncle. I love this color. I get this from a local supplier to me called Sanjo Silk. They get really good silk. Not all silk is created equal. Just because it says silk doesn't mean it's good. I have gotten peduncle from other providers and it leaves like peduncle chunks in my bats. It drives me crazy. So here we go. Hannah, mulberry. Why are we saying mulberry? What did I miss? I missed something, Hannah. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What happened? Mulberry? Is that what's in the Haunui? They put mulberry in Haunui? Okay, so there you go. There you have it. There's our peduncle. So here's our day 1. We added this. Boom, boom. And we got this. The void. Can we all see? I'm going to hold still. Everybody can see. So this one, no matter what, this one is going to be different in the ply. Like, not a lot, but probably the most difference in my days. Like, because I was trying to get these ones close together. But the peduncle literally just made this glow and sing. It's 20% peduncle, and that's probably going to be the most stark change in the whole probably going to be the most stark change in the whole advent. So, stunning, hey? Yes, we love. I had other options. So initially I wanted to put the Kashgora in here initially. Or no, what did I want to do? There was something, it was one of the ones I can't talk about yet. I wanted to stick in here initially and kind of have more of like a halo. Just because it's not something that Haunui themselves are doing. And then I was like, but this would be so good with the silk, a black wool with the gray peduncle. Like, it just would be so. I got over myself and my need to do something different and just created a beautiful blend. So there you have it. That is what we did for Delightful today. Are there any questions? We talked about processing the Haunui yesterday. Oh, Harriet did send me she did make a comment about getting this one like in the nick of time. That actually really happened. That was super true. It turns out, remember yesterday when I talked about getting wool into Canada from New Zealand and how there's like a bazillion% red tape and like forms and documents and like special certifications you have to have or whatever. So Harriet, not me, was doing this kind of like the maiden voyage of importing a large amount of wool or exporting a large amount of wool for me to import. And it was hilarious and it was involved and she worked her tail off. But I got this fleece, holy moly, end of October. Okay, Hannah, I think it's mulberry. I think it is mulberry and Haunui. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Hannah, for coming back and saying that. That was going to live right back here in the back of my head and distract me. Harriet's here. A1 mulberry. Hey! Okay. It is mulberry. Confirmed. So this came in like end of October and I just like threw it in the tub like immediately. And this was the very last fleece I processed for like the whole advent. This was the last one we did. But it got here, man. And we're good. All right. So Harriet is the shepherdess, by the way, guys, of Haunui wool. She's here and she's confirming, as is Hannah, that it is mulberry. So now Harriet, you can see, in case you were late, the black with the peduncle. Isn't that just nuts? Isn't that just crazy? I would love to. I don't know if you can source this, Harriet. If you can get other wools blended, I don't know what your mills can do for you, but peduncle in that medium gray one that I blended this with yesterday would be like insane because it's a really, really warm gray. It's not cool. This is the same kind of warmth as like the Bond Day 1. This would have actually been perfect in the Bond, but I really wanted the Bond with the Kashgora. But anyway, making the decisions about what I was going to put into each of these days takes me a whole day. It took me a whole day because I just sit there and I'm like, okay, hold on. I know I want this one with this one. I know I want this one with this one. And then you have to sort of start making your deliberations about your blending. And I make myself a little crazy because I am an overthinker. Any questions about how Nui with peduncle? Anybody? Otherwise, we're moving on. We're moving on. There's the lock. Oh, it's just so good. Oh. Okay, we're gonna move on. See? Yes? The chat is quiet, so I think we're moving on. I'm gonna re-roll that though, because the little tail is bugging me. So this should be, well, I know that it's a great spin, but should be for you guys a really great, really approachable spin. Throw in the peduncle in there. You guys are gonna have a great time. You're gonna have a great time. 3 times through our carders, so it's super well blended. Okay, put this peduncle away, and let's open up True North. Put the void away. The void and darkness. No, parents. For anyone wondering too about the silks, it's all based off the worm. There's different worms that do different things. Mulberry silk is really beautiful. High shine. Glossy. Oh, that's delightful. So when you start exploring different silk types, peduncle is related to Tassa, I think. Okay, day 8. Day 8! Day 8! And we have a treasure. Another treasure from another one of our indigenous businesses. Here we go. Okay, day 8, Mr. Moose. Beautiful. This is pretty. Beautiful little green string. Like that. Ooh. Want that in sweater quantity. That's my color. Okay, here we go. Oh, sister dyed. The sister dyed the strings. And I looked at them all because, I mean, duh, I wrapped these bundles, but I think when I was in wrapping mode, I wasn't like in art mode, like considering the tones and the colors of the strings. Okay, here we go. We are in Saskatchewan today. Let's do the wool first. Then I'm going to talk about the treasure. We're in Saskatchewan today. Prairie Fire alpacas blended with BC wool. I did not do all the BCs in a row on purpose. I'll talk about putting this together on day 13, and you'll see I didn't do that on purpose. And here's the color we have. We have got a beautiful kind of like champagne, what would we call this? Mother of pearl, kind of oystery, like a very pretty, super light, but cream. We're not yellow. It's gorgeous. Harriet says it's Monday where she is, so she's feeling slow. Okay, here it is. Let's look at the lock. So this comes from a sheep named Charlie. And Charlie is a Rideau Arcott. I love this breed. This is in one of my top 10 or 5. Ooh. Let's just safely say top 10. Breeds. I love Rideau Arcott. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, there's confirmation coming through that yes, it is the color of creamy oyster. The fleece itself, do you see that? How beautiful and kind of the sheen that it has, which this is a down wool. So for anyone who doesn't know, quick lesson on Rideau Arcott. Anything that, there's 3 types of Arcotts. There's Canadian Arcott, Rideau Arcott, and there's this one that's like the super French word that I can't say, starts with an O. And the Arcotts are developed here in Canada. They're our breed. Yeah, that's right. We got a breed. So basically, they took like a little bit of everything and they put it together to create a sheep that had a bunch of babies. That's what they were looking for. Prolific breeders. And that were just like big meat sheep. They're looking for meat sheep. They want them to have a bunch of babies and be big sheep. So they took like stuff we would know, like suffix and like blah blah blahs, and there's like bits of everything. They can give you the percentage, and they developed this breed in the 80s, and got it out to shepherds, and now we have a Canadian breed, a native Canadian breed. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of awesome. We love it. And Arcott, so I think Rideau is just a word they picked. Arcott is an acronym. It stands for Animal Resource Center of Ottawa. Animal Resource Center? ARC, and then Ottawa is the OTT, Arcott. It literally just stands for, I think it's Animal Resource Center of Ottawa. So that's where Arcott comes from. And it's lovely. I love this breed. Now, I love this shepherd though. Diane Bence, I was introduced to her through our local auction, and she had this sheep that was, I think it was Mia, who is so, I was like devastated. I sat there just like, oh no, oh shoot, this is one of those ones that's gonna ruin me for other fleece. Like, I was just like, we met one of those fleeces, okay? So it is absolutely, she was absolutely stunning. And I'm like, this is a down wool. Like, not only, it's like a super down, it's like created from mutts, bred in Canada, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this sheep was outstanding. Nelly, Animal Research Center in Ottawa. Hey, I was right. Thanks, Nelly. Nelly does that for me, like in real life when she's over here too. She gets on her phone. She's like, it's this. I'm like, yes. Okay, good. We know. So Mia wrecked me for life. This is Mia's flockmate, Charlie. I got it at the auction this year. So the same auction where I got Cola for day 5, which was the Grand Champ. This was the Reserve Grand Champ. That's who Charlie was. So that means just slightly, I think it was 0.5 points less. So Cola got like 91.5 points out of 100, and Charlie got 90 points out of 100. It was like really, really close. But Mia had been the grand champion the year before. So Diane's killing it with this flock. It is such a good example of the breed. Because you might go out there and find other Arcotts and be like, what is Melly talking about? This is some dusty, Brillo pad, scritchy meat sheep. But Diane's ones, oh, okay. They've ruined me. They've absolutely ruined me. I love it. Love this Rideau. So that's where Charlie comes from. And then blended it with Prairie Fire alpacas. Oh, let's look at the thingy, which was a really soft, creamy color. That's what it was. And that's how come we're getting this soft, creamy color in this bat. I reached out to Prairie Fire via Instagram. And I just was like, hey, do you have any alpaca? And she was like, heck yeah, I do. And mailed me out some alpaca. We did the whole transaction via like Instagram and e-transfers and stuff. So if anybody would like to try some Saskatchewan alpaca, you just contact on Instagram. She told me she's got lots more if anybody wants more. Price was great. Quality was great. She had some color options. She was one of the first ones I got alpaca from. So at that point, I didn't care what the color was. I was just trying to collect every color because I knew I was going to have every color of wool and I could make my pairings to get the days to be different in color. But she did have lots of options. But I just got this sort of light colored one. And it's very pretty. And together, this is Melly bait. This type of blend, this breed and alpaca, Melly bait. This is Melly. You ever want to trap me? Lure me? Put this and lead me away. Just put this in front of my face and I will happily follow along because this is my kind of wool. Like I'm open about my love of primitives and downs, right? Like I do love my primitives, love my downs. But my goodness, this color and just this feel in my hands. Ooh, so good. So happy and pleased. I don't want to say, no, I'm not saying that. I'm going to leave it. You say that like all wool wouldn't pull you in. You could not lure me with pure BFL. I said it. Well, maybe. If it was one of those off-character ones that was a little fluffy, oh yeah, then maybe. There are wools that I'm not like naturally drawn to, but this is something that I am naturally drawn to. By the way, I don't have hate for BFL. I just don't like processing it. It hurts my feelings every single time I process it. Just, that's all. It's just a pain. Giant, curly pain in my butt. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So, that's today. Here it is. I like seeing the lock next to it so we can see. That's a little bit more of a subtle color change, but really pretty, hey? So there's our Rideau Prairie Fire. Okay, processing this. Oh, I didn't talk about blending in the silk either. Okay. Processing a Rideau, no brainer. It's a meat sheep. You can't really hurt it. You can't really felt it. Like you probably can. Like you can felt down wools, but like not easily. So if you're a first time wool washer, you could find yourself a not super dirty down wool. There's your challenge, because a lot of the time, as they are meat sheep, no one's thinking about the wool quality. Do you know what I mean? On like this, obviously Diane she's entering these into like local competitions and stuff. But in general, if someone's just like, here's a big sweaty bag of meat sheep, like you're gonna open that up and probably find the horrors. Like that's just the nature of it. I started in the burn pile. I have seen the horrors, and you can still work through them for sure, but like it was a great place to start because I started in primitives and I started in the burn pile. And it was a great place to start because while primitives are super felty, like you could side-eye an Icelandic and it's like, I will become one. With the down wools, when they even are that dirty, you can kind of be throwing elbows in the tub. Do you know what I mean? You can beat the crap out of them in the tub if you need to try and move some of that dirt along and it's like not wanting to. VM wise though, they don't readily drop their VM. So if it's blanketed in mud, go ahead. But if it's chock full of like tiny, tiny grassy hay, it's the nature of like the crimp structure and the lock and everything. It just holds on to it. Like it does fall out. Some falls out, but like it holds on to it more. Some fleece drop it. Like Cola, the Cotswold drops it. Any of those long wools, they pretty much drop their VM. Down wools like to hold on to them. Anyway, so processing it was fine. Just giving it a good old wash, carding it like nothing. You could turn your carders up real fast. Just rip it, just throw the wool at the carder and it comes out the other side. Perfect. So that's the story with processing this. And then real quick, back to the Haunui with the silk. Erin sandwiched that one. Silk can somewhat take flight, or you can have losses where at the end of carding on the back, this back bar of Big Homie right here, there'll be like silk just draped over it. So you go really slow and you go wool, silk, wool, and sandwich it through, and that seems to really, really help. Little tip there, just in case anybody was wondering. Robin, down wool makes great duvets and pillows because it does not felt easily. Yeah, it won't turn into a little hard lump. So love our down wool. Insulating and cozy and special. Now let's look at our treasure. So today's treasure for True North, I'm gonna try and just make it look presentable, comes from, I folded it for the Advent, comes from Mother Earth Essentials. This is one of the most beautiful websites, and the products they offer are so gorgeous, not just in the packaging, but like the thoughtfulness. And it's a very, very fulsome website. So, for instance, I'm going to somewhat tell you what this tea is, but you should just go to the site. I'm going to link it because they've got like, boom, like information on this tea. So this is the Comfort Blend. It's mint, willow, and muskeg. There's 2 tea bags in here. I buy it like this. That's the size that I buy. And then they come, but they didn't come like this. They come in the bag like that, and then you get your individual. And these are little paper bags too, in case anyone's worried about brewing microplastics into their teas. Anyway, comes like this, and it's like full-on herbs in there, like big, chunky. Like this isn't like there's actual pieces of bark. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like actual, like that's just like a chunk of bark in my tea. So I really love this tea. I'm a big tea drinker. Yeah, I'm kind of a big tea guy. I'm a big tea drinker. I love all kinds of teas, and I'm one of these that actually believes in like the healing benefits of these things that I'm drinking and eating. And this one I was drawn to this one because I like the idea of it being comfort in this season and in this time, just like something to rest and relax. This can be a busy time for folks or whatever else it is. But also because it has the muskeg blend in there, which is called Labrador tea. And that has a ton of really cool like anti-inflammatory properties and like all kinds of good stuff. I would say to pop this, like to go pop over to the site and read about this tea and what's in it and what it does. I am really a sucker for like medicinal teas, like herbal remedies and things like that. I love in the tea form, okay? So I will, I just bought like 3 bags the other day that are for like hormone balancing because I'm perimenopausal and like all these things. Some maybe don't believe that's a thing, but I really like it. And I drink my little hormone balancing tea because it's got like rose hips in it or something. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Doing me good as she downs frozen O. Henry's. Anyway. Oh, yeah. So love this tea. Check out this company. They have soaps. I almost did their soap, but then they have these beautiful little packaged soaps, but went with their tea instead and found soap somewhere else. So they've got soaps, they've got bath salts, they've got oils and skincare. I have their peppermint sage body lotion. So like you put it everywhere and then you kind of tingle cold because it's got like legit peppermint in it, but like in a good way, like in like a muscle relaxy kind of way. So they've got some really beautiful stuff. If you're new to this company, Mother Earth Essentials, and again, definitely like they've got a like holistic vibe all over there. So they're in Alberta and they're wonderful. So I hope all my True North folks enjoy their happy cup of tea because I love it. And I got to go on a fun exploration journey. I ordered I think they have 3 teas, and I ordered Life is All About Balance. Also, don't forget to freeze your Oreos. Pro tips, Danielle, thank you. I ordered all 3 of their teas to try them. This one was my absolute favorite taste-wise, although the one in the purple box was like, that was super, super good too. But I just figured, yeah, I liked what this one had going on. Okay, so there we have it, folks. We have opened day 8. We have our gorgeous glassy ebony Haunui rocking with the peduncle silk, our beautiful creamy, dreamy, oystery colored Rideau Arcott Melly Fave with the Saskatchewan alpaca. Tomorrow, we're going to head to Alberta with True North and for the alpaca, and we're not going to have it blended with the BC wool because just to clear that up again, I couldn't get wool from the territories. I have wool from all the provinces, every single province. There's 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada. So I got wool from all 10 provinces. But because I didn't get wool from those 3 territories, I needed to add 3 additional fleece from somewhere else, and I picked BC because that's where I am. So in total, there's 4 BC fleece in the True North Advent, and we just did them all in a row, which I also didn't plan for, which was not planned for. So there you have it. So tomorrow we're moving on to a new province for wool and Alberta for the Saskatchewan. And we're going to open another fine wool for Delightful. Who's tomorrow? Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, we're going to open another fine wool for Delightful, see a new colorway, and have a treasure. Who's got our treasure? Delightful will have a treasure tomorrow. So that's it. Those are all of my stories. And unless anybody has any questions, we had like open discussion about being lazy spinners. Someone, I think it was Victoria, said technical knitter, not technical spinner. I would fall maybe more into that line of things. I do like the technical stuff in the knitting. Ooh, I love the mint eucalyptus shower. He'll full-on recommend. Oh, okay. Guys, we've got some goods. Shower gel. Okay, shower gel. Yep, Kaylee's in there too. Technical knitters, non-technical spinners. If that's it, any questions? Then I'm going to peace out. 39 minutes in, we're right on time. Do you remember when I thought these were going to be 15-minute openings? Do you remember that? Do you remember when I thought that? Yeah, that happened. Okay. Then I'm gonna mosey on out of here, go get some breakfast. But I will see you guys back tomorrow. We've got some good stuff to open, and we're on the final leg of our journey. We just did day 8. We have 4 left for Delightful and 5 left for True North. We're just barreling through this. So much appreciation to you all. There it is for anyone who was late. There's my True North so far, the first 7 days. Ooh, gonna give these babies a bath. I'm gonna have to tag them though. Gosh, they're pretty. Oh, okay, anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get my spin on. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. And as always, this is recorded. And the comments, live comments, because you guys are all great in these live comments, take a while to show up, like the next day. But otherwise, I'm going, okay? I'm really going. Love you all. Kisses. Thank you for being here, and goodbye.